guys, it's Getsy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded a video, but a lot of crazy things have happened between, that time. But I'm here now, and yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know on how I found out that I had cancer again, unfortunately. But yeah, so let's get started. So yeah, I have cancer again. I don't know, it's crazy for me to say it just because I would have never thought, in the first place that I was gonna get cancer, let alone a second time. I mean, I don't know, everything's crazy, but the way that I found out that I had cancer was this year. I had no symptoms, which was the crazy part, but it started on February, and it was kind of weird how I found out because I had my period at the beginning of the month, and my period usually lasts for a whole week. And a whole week had already passed, and I still kept bleeding, which was a bit weird because I've never surpassed like the 1 week. And then eventually it became a whole month that I was bleeding, and I told my mom, and my mom told me to let the doctors know because that's not normal at all. So what I did is I called the doctor. I told them what was going on. They told me that I had to go in with my doctor to get a pap smear done, and I did. I went, and they ended up telling me that they were gonna do me some labs, which is what they did. Sorry, I'm looking for my phone so I could let you guys know what they exactly told me. But so I went in, and they did me my whole labs and whatever. And then the doctor, when he was looking and stuff, he said that my cervix was bigger than usual, bigger than most women, I guess. And I didn't really understand if that was a good thing or a bad thing, but he ended up explaining it. He ended up telling me that, that's not normal. So he was gonna do more testing and stuff. So I said okay, and then I ended up going home. And then within the 4th day, well, actually no, the way I found out was because I'm active on my application on my phone, so I would get messages, and I got a message saying how there was a possibility that I might have cancer. And when I read that, I don't know, I completely lost it. Ooh. Okay, when I read that, I completely lost it. Gosh, I can't do it. This is another reason why I was taking really long to record. Because I'm just very, oh my gosh. Okay. Because I'm just very emotional. Okay. So I found out, and that day I had work. Around 2 p.m. and I got the message around, I don't know, it was noon. I got it, and it said that there was a possibility that I had cancer. And the first thing I did, was, break down and cry. And I was really mad. Not only on myself, but I was really mad at God. I was really mad at him because I just couldn't understand how this could be happening to me again. I don't know. I was just really mad. That doesn't mean I stopped loving him. No, it's just like when I have a fight with my parents, like sometimes they do something that I don't like and I get mad at them. So that's how I felt. I felt that I was just mad. But I was just, crying. I was talking to God, like I was mad. And I called my mom. I explained to her what was going on and that there might be a possibility that I might have cancer again. But she saw that I broke down. And by the way, I live like in Lancaster, and my parents, my dad works in the valley, and my siblings go to school in the valley. The reason for that is because they want to go to school there. And so my mom would go down to the valley with them, and I would stay by myself in my house. Well, okay, so my parents live with me because they're taking care of me because, like of everything that's going on. And my husband, he's like always at work and stuff, so he doesn't want me to stay by myself. Okay, besides the point, so they would go down to the valley. I was at home, and my sister was at school. She was at school up here. And I was by myself when I found out, so my mom called my dad right away, and he was like, you know what, Roberto, like, we have to go home right now. And then she explained to my dad, and then my sister, the one that's, that she's up here with me, she asked to leave school early, and she did, just so they could be there, for me, like, to support me. And they came, and then, they were hugging me. We didn't cry at all because I wanted them to, like, treat me like nothing was wrong. And like I said, there was a possibility that I was gonna have cancer, so I didn't want to think much of it, like, oh, I do have cancer, if I really don't know that if I do or don't. I don't know if that makes sense. But, yeah, so we were just like, like talking. We ended up going out to eat, and this was way before COVID. Well, not way before COVID, but way before the lockdowns and everything. So we were still able to go eat outside and stuff. So we came back, and then oh yeah, I said I had work. I called off because like I couldn't do it. That was like a big news for me, so I just called off. So yeah. And then, after that, I just kept thinking about it, like, how could this be and all of that. But then, like, again, I said there was a possibility, and I was not gonna let that, like, get into my head until the actual doctor tells me, what, you have cancer. So I just kind of forgot about it a little bit. And then, like, after the message was sent, 2 days later, my doctor called me, and he said, hey, like, like, I would like for you to come to my office to discuss the results from your pap smear and the labs and all of that. So I said, yeah, that's fine. And my mother, she went with me. And of course, he ended up telling me that I did have cancer. I had cervix cancer. So he said that he was gonna refer me with my oncologist, which he did. I went to go meet with him, and that day when I went to go meet with him, well, actually, before I went to go meet with him, they had already scheduled some like CT scans, PET scans, blood work, and all of that. So I went to go have them done. And the day when I went to go meet with my oncologist, he went over my CT scan and my PET scan, and he told me that I had 2 types of tumors. One was the size of a small watermelon, and the other one was the size of a grapefruit. So those are like really big masses. Because they were really big at that time, the doctor told me that, you know, like the surgery that they were gonna do, that it was gonna be like a really long surgery, and I was gonna, you know, they were gonna take all my feminine parts, they were gonna take my cervix, my ovaries, my tubes, my bladder. They were gonna reconstruct my vagina. It's just so many things, you know, that he told me, and then he said that there was gonna be a 50-50 chance that I was gonna survive the surgery, because, you know, I'm very petite, and the surgery was gonna be like hardcore, I guess, and it was gonna be a big surgery. So when he told me that, I completely lost it. I started crying. My husband was with me that day, so I started crying. The doctor and my husband gave me like some time to like just cry it out, because that's the only way I was gonna be able to, you know, continue with this. So I cried it out, and I was really hurt because, you know, when someone finds, oh gosh, most women, when they find their love of their life, all they want to do is have a house and create a family with them, you know, have a 50, you know, have a half them and half me running around, and just have them, you know. So when he told me that I wasn't gonna be able to have kids, that completely broke me. I mean, there isn't anything that I could have done, because I really did all I could. I was eating healthy. I was starting to work out again, which is why I said that I was mad at God, because I just couldn't understand what went wrong. I couldn't understand. Okay. And then after he told me all of that, he told me that we were gonna do chemotherapy first before my surgery, which I did. I did my chemotherapy. I started on April, I want to say 17. Like I said, I was already like depressed because of, like, you know, like the doctor was just telling me what he needed to tell me, but it was just so much for me that day, and I really think that it really took a lot from me. So it really broke me down, and I was just thinking about it all the time. I went to my chemotherapy always like thinking, you know, about it, and this time nobody could have gone with me inside my chemotherapy, so I was always by myself, which is also why I was always thinking negative, because nobody was with me. Nobody really like there was no one, there really wasn't no one there to distract me from like thinking negative and stuff. But my chemotherapy sessions were really hard as well. They were like a 7-hour long, 5 to 7 hour long. And then by the end of the 5 or 7 hour, I would have to take like a chemotherapy home. It was like a little ball. It's a bag that you take home, and I have a port. I don't know if you guys see it right here. It's a little ball, and I would be connected to that, and I would be carrying like a bag here, like full of chemo. And I might post a picture around here somewhere, so you guys could see. But I would take it home for like 3 days, and I really hated that one because that chemo would really like bring me down, like I don't know, it was a completely different feeling from my other chemo and stuff. So I really hated that one. Also, I would come home, I was always sleeping, you know, I didn't have the appetite to eat, and when I would eat, my food didn't taste good at all, but I still kind of forced myself to eat. And you know, I was always like super tired, and I didn't want to do anything, plus I was already depressed. So I don't know, it was just, that was like throughout my whole chemotherapy. And then it was the end of my chemotherapy. It was session 5, I believe. The doctor told me that we were gonna go get my CT scan and my PET scan to see if I was already ready for surgery, to see if my mass shrunk and if I was ready. So I went to go get my CT scan, my PET scan, and you know, my doctor called me back to get the results. The doctor ended up telling me that, you know, like my mass, both my mass didn't shrink as much as they really wanted them to shrink. It didn't shrink at all actually, but they said that it didn't grow either, so that's good. So they ended up telling me that I was gonna do 2 more sessions of chemo, and then I was gonna be ready for surgery, which is what I did. I was ready for, I did my 2 chemotherapy sessions, and then I got ready for surgery. Again, throughout this whole, like, me going to the doctors, I was always by myself. So I went to my surgery alone. Well, they drove me. One of my good friends, she came all the way to Lancaster, and she took me all the way to Panorama to take me to the hospital. Thank you for that, Sarah. So I went in, I was prepping for my surgery. I went in, and then they were just making me sign a whole bunch of papers. They were letting me know what was gonna happen. Oh, by the way, so the surgery, from the first time I explained to you guys how the doctor said that they were gonna remove my ovaries, my tubes, my bladder, they were gonna reconstruct my vagina, they were gonna take all the my feminine, organs, I guess. So that completely changed. Thank God. They didn't remove all of that. The only things that they removed was my ovaries, my tubes, and I believe that's it. But I feel like I'm missing something. But they didn't remove like all of the things that they said that they were gonna remove. It's sad. Whew, it's sad. That I for sure won't be able to have kids. It's really sad for me. Because that's something that I really wanted. And I know that You guys might think like you could still have kids, you could adopt, you could do all of that, but there's a different type of love from adopting than from having your own. Like, you're gonna love them both, you know, the same, I guess. You're gonna love them both so much. I can't have that, but like I said, at least I'm alive. And I think, oh, and I thank God for that. I really do. I'm hurting in different types of ways, but I'm overall grateful. I'm grateful. But yeah, so that's what the doctor told me. My surgeon told me that she was gonna remove. So, you know, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, I was already in recovery. I was hurting because, you know, like, they remove obviously organs that were supposed to be there, and now that they're not there, you feel completely different, and you know, it hurts. I might put a picture again when, like, so you guys can see my cut. It's bigger than my first cut from my first surgery when I first had cancer. It's way bigger than that. Like I said, I might put a picture up here. So yeah, this time they put staples on my tummy. Last time they put glue. So that's the two difference between the surgeries. And then this surgery was like, I believe it was 3 to 4 hours. My last surgery was 8 hours. So yeah, and then the recovery session was, I believe, less painful than the first time, but because I was alone, I guess I had a lot of anxiety. And I remember when I was in the hospital, like, recovering, I had an anxiety attack. I wasn't able to breathe. I was losing my my air, my oxygen, I mean. And you know, I called the nurse. I was calling the nurse, but I wasn't able to breathe at all. I was like I was trying to communicate with the nurse, telling him that, you know, like, I can't breathe. And he ended up calling a whole bunch of doctors. Nurses came in. I think overall, like, 2 doctors or 3 doctors came in. 4 nurses were inside. And then they brought that machine where, just in case, like, you know, like, your heart stops and stuff, like, they revive you or whatever, because they honestly thought that was gonna happen to me, because, like I said, like, I wasn't able to breathe. I had an anxiety attack, which I believe that's what caused it. And then they were telling me, like, breathe in, breathe out, and I'm like, I can't, because my nose was clogged, but it had no boogers. It was just clogged. And I was letting them know, and meanwhile that whole thing was happening, I was on a call with my mother. So imagine the fear of my mom, you know, like, listening to the doctors talking to me, like, whining what was going on, and her not being able to be there. You know, it was really hard for her as well. So it was just like a whole different type of experience from the first time to this time. And after that, you know, the doctors gave me some other types of medication. I was able to relax, and I was just better, you know. Eventually, they just kept monitoring me. 2 days later, I ended up being discharged. I went home. You know, I was just trying to, like, oh, actually, sorry. So 2 days later, before I left, my surgeon came, and she ended up telling me that they were able to remove both my masses, the big ones. But she said that once they opened me, she thought that I had other specks of cancer in my stomach, which was in my large intestine, which was like a really small. I have a really small large intestine because when I had my first cancer, I had a surgery where they removed 5 feet of my colon, so I only had 1 foot, so it was stuck there. So in my large intestine, my small intestine, it was around my abdominal, and I believe that's it. So there was like specks of cancer. But the good thing that she said is that the cancer wasn't that big. It was like half of the size of an eraser of a pencil. So she said that, you know, with treatment, that hopefully, and like praying to God that, you know, they're able to be removed and stuff. So that's what she ended up telling me before I was discharged. So I ended up going home. She told me that, you know, the doctors were going to call me, my oncologist, so we could go ahead and schedule a you know, meeting of what was I going to take, because she said that I was going to take radiation, and after radiation I was going to take immunotherapy if I was compatible with the immunotherapy. So I ended up meeting with my radiologist doctor, and he said that because the cancer was spread out, that we weren't going to be able to do radiation, because radiation works as a surgery. It only focuses on only one part. So he said that we wouldn't be able to do radiation now, but he said that we were going to do immunotherapy first. He said that we were going to try immunotherapy first, and hopefully that's the only thing that I need. But if somehow, of whatever reason, it doesn't work and my cancer's still there, or it keeps growing, then somehow we were gonna do the radiation. So right now, you know, I'm in my immunotherapy. Thank God that, you know, like, I am not getting any symptoms. But I'm praying to God that, you know, that the immunotherapy is all I need. You know, because I'm just tired with this whole journey. Just want to rest. So yeah, so that's what happened. And then, you know, I was like living my life. I was accepting the fact that I was going to do immunotherapy for 6 months, because that's what the doctor told me. He said that after 6 months that I was going to go with him, and then I don't know how they're going to track me, if my cancer shrunk or whatever, because it's funny how when they did me the CT scan and the PET scan, they didn't see those little specks of cancer till the surgeon opened me. So I don't know how they're going to, you know, see if they shrunk or not. But so that's what happened. So after that, I'm still taking my immunotherapy, and like I said, like this whole like 2 months, almost 3 months, have been really crazy, because it's just like, if it's not one thing, it's another thing. And my back, I don't know, like most of you guys who are following me on Instagram, you guys know that I posted not that long ago a story where a video where it said that if you guys have any remedies for back pain or anything like that, because my back has been hurting so much, like it's been hurting so much. I always drink morphine, and you know, like morphine wasn't even doing anything for me anymore, so I had to tell the doctor, you know. And the doctor ended up doing me another CT scan. The CT scan showed that my kidney was how do you call it, inflamada. I don't know how to say that in English. It was like inflamada. It was inflame? I don't think that's the right word, but it was like, I don't know, but he saw something on my kidney, and eventually, you know, he made me more studies, and we came to the fact that I had a kidney blockage. So, you know, I met with my urologist. The urologist told me that there's 3 options. Option one, where either one, I continue letting it be, but I'm risking my kidney, like I'm risking it, I might lose my kidney. So that's the first option. The second option is, you know, like, I'm gonna have a small procedure, like a small surgery, where they would put a stent inside my, you know, where my kidney, well, with a kidney blockage, what they told me before, like anything, with a kidney blockage, what they told me, and my understanding, they told me that it's what drains the kidney and the bladder. Like, it drains it, I guess. And my, it wasn't, I don't know. My already, I don't know how to say it, but from my kidney to my bladder, it was kind of being squished from my cancer that I have. So because of that reason, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do, which is why my urologist gave me that option that we were going to do the small procedure of putting a stent inside of me and having that stent do the work of what my artery is supposed to be doing but isn't. So that was the second option. The third option is having him open to me on the side right here, and instead of like peeing outside, not peeing outside, but peeing like in the bathroom like a normal person, I wouldn't be able to do that. I was gonna have like a bag, I was gonna have like a opening here that it was gonna have like a bag right here full of pee, and I was gonna like exchange it myself. I was gonna clean it and change it, clean it and change it. So I wasn't gonna pee like normal people. That was the third option. Of course, I didn't want to have the bag, so I went with option 2. And that procedure took place in, I believe it was November 25th it took place, or somewhere around November it took place. And I did that procedure. When I woke up from the procedure, I was in a lot of pain. It was a pain that I cannot even describe. It was hurting me so bad. I was always crying. Like, I woke up crying. I left the place crying. I came home crying. I was still crying. I took my morphine and I was still crying. I took a 15 milligram morphine and I was crying. I took another 15 milligram morphine and I still was crying. After like 30 minutes had passed, then, I was feeling a little bit better, but it kind of felt like, you know how when you're bloated and you have to pee? Well, I felt like, you know how when you get bloated, your stomach goes up? I felt like I had a cut, and because I was bloated, it was kind of like the cut was opening. So that's what I felt. And every time I would pee, I felt that opening, or like cut opening, and I felt like pee. I felt like super hot, and I don't know, it was just like something I can't describe. It's really hard, but it was really painful. I don't know. It was really painful, and that's what happened. I recovered from it. Thank God. So I'm better now. And then not that long ago as well, like my right leg started to hurt a lot right here. It starts to hurt. And I told my doctor again. I was like, hey, my leg is hurting now. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And he ended up doing another CT scan, PET scan, and he ended up telling me that I have a cyst in my spinal, and because of my procedure or my surgery, I have fluids in my pelvis. So that's causing pressure into my vein or my artery, or I can't say it, but it's causing pressure into it, which is causing my leg to hurt so much. And that's another thing that I have to deal with. And like I said, it's just one thing after another, and I'm tired. But so yeah, I spoke with my doctor not that long ago. Maybe it was yesterday. And today he put in the request of, having my procedure get done, because it really hurts. Like, sometimes I can't even walk. It hurts as if I broke a bone, and the cold, it's going inside my bones. And it also feels like my leg is going numb. And I don't know, it's just something that hurts me, And I'm always drinking morphine. And because of my morphine that I'm always drinking, I'm always constipated. And it's just I think on Saturday, not Saturday, like 2 days ago, I was in the hospital because of my pain in my stomach and my leg. And it's just, I don't know, I'm just tired and I'm just ready for this to be over. I'm ready for this to be over. But God is good, and I will get past this. I will get past this. And one thing that I always keep in my head is, no matter what I get thrown, I will always get past through this. Because I am not a quitter. I am not gonna quit. I will pass this. Of course, you know, with the help of God, not only by myself, but I play a big role on it too, by eating healthy, staying healthy, you know, staying active, thinking positive, because being positive, let me tell you guys, staying positive plays a big factor in your lifestyle. A big factor. And I don't know if I told you guys, but when I first had cancer, you know, I thought that I was in the first stage that I was always thinking positive, like, oh yeah, I'm in the first stage, you know, I'm gonna pass this, you know, this is easy, this is nothing, blah blah blah. And I was always thinking positive, and to think that I was in the fourth stage, I was literally gonna die. And you know, like, staying positive, like, it's really a big factor. And I want to thank you guys. You know, like, there's some people that comment on my videos, and I don't know you guys, but thank you guys so much for, you know, oh, this is tears of joy, okay? For being there for me, you know? Even though we don't know each other, you guys are there for me. You guys are supporting me. You guys are keeping me positive, and you guys are there for me. So I want to thank you guys from the very bottom of my heart. From the very, very bottom of my heart. I love you guys. So that's so far what's going on with me. So I really hope that I could record more now. Hopefully when my procedure gets done, I'm not always in pain. So, you know, I really hope that I could record more for you guys, because I don't want you guys to get bored of me and leave me. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for everything. You know, we hit 300 subscribers, so that's amazing. Thank you guys. So yeah, I think that's it for this story. Thank you guys for watching, and I love you guys. God bless you.